Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Lionsbridge FC Soccer. I'm Rob Smith. Joining me in the booth, Kevin Darcy here at Pomoco Stadium for a late season matchup between rivals Virginia Beach United and the home squad, Lionsbridge FC, both fighting for playoff position, and we've got plenty to talk about as we've got the visiting team in red, the home team in blue, and it is just about time for kickoff. Away we go. Once again, want to thank you for joining us here on Cox Eureview, Facebook Live, and the USL League 2 site. As there is no time for pregame analysis, no time for opens. Tonight we are just out, rolling, and ready to go with the starting lineups in just a second. But first, Kevin Darcy in the booth with me. How are you doing?
Doing great, Rob. Excited about tonight. I've got a European feel. Feels like a derby, trying to get a little championship here in the third leg of this event. So excited to see how that goes.
First opportunity of the day for the boys in red. Sackie. And a clear for the defense. Back line looks similar. Ferguson, Staats, Betz, and Kagen will be joining Dearle. That's Chris Wally's back four. His midfielders, Emeka, Eneli, Rebollar, Scearce, and Militar, the captain. And forwards, Brown and Jacquel. Right now we'll start with the forwards for Virginia Beach United, Garza, Martinez, and Sackie. Playing a 4-3-3 tonight is United. Ball crossed into the box. Scooped by Dearle. Curtis Kirby, Oliver Peters, and Guillermo Lamy in the midfield for Virginia Beach, and then Pollard, Peter, Ridley, and Barakat is the back line. So a very quick starting group, and of course we can't forget about Johnson. That's Brett Johnson in goal wearing yellow. And a rather colorful field tonight, Kevin. So we've got red, we've got blue, we've got green, and we've got yellow.
Almost got the whole rainbow going here tonight.
Certainly. Tonight is round 3 of the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup, brought to you by Langley Federal Credit Union. Lionsbridge FC and Virginia Beach United splitting the first two. And ultimately this evening coming to a contest for a couple of things. First and foremost, most importantly, I would imagine for these guys on the field, is a big 3 points as the season starts to wrap up. For the fans, we're looking for the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup. The hardware in the building, the silverware is here. And for everybody involved, bragging rights to come at the end of this 90 minutes. Talked to head coach Chris Wally at the beginning of the contest. Said, hey, how do you continue this 4-game home win streak? And his answer was simple. Let's just keep doing the things we've been doing well, and let's do better at the things we haven't been doing well. And maybe if his statement of the night, which he says almost every night to me, is, if we get a clean shit, we'll win the game.
That's pretty well said. And they have been doing a lot of things well of late, Rob, I must say. Thought the last performance, start to finish, was very good. Putting some goals in the back of the net for sure. Stringing play together. Possession's been exceptional. And our bite has been good. I'm looking for some bite tonight at times when we have to get stuck in and command some presence, whether it's a midfielder in the back, but to have that bite about us.
Dearle has not picked up a clean sheet in a while. Last Saturday, giving up 1 goal. Almost had a clean sheet against DC United. Gave up a tough late goal, did the Bridge. But head coach Chris Wally is all about the clean sheet. If they can pick one up tonight, he's certainly confident at least 1 point. And the other thing that should be noted is that if this game does end in a tie, the cup goes to the Bridge, as they currently have the tiebreaker in goal differential. Around the division, the top 3 spots split by 4 points.
Tremendous parity in this division, Rob, that's for sure.
Certainly every single team still alive and well as we come to the last 4 games of the year. Brown to Militar on the outside. Militar low. The fans like it. Now coming back the other side. Here come the boys in red now on the near side. Luis Martinez, saved by Kagen. Now up forward to Jacquel. As we get into the contest here, 5 minutes into the game, Kevin, what are your keys to success tonight for the Bridge?
Yeah, as I look for every game, we've chosen to play another 4-4-2 tonight, pretty traditional, pretty consistent from Lionsbridge. It's how we're going to manage the middle of the field. Virginia Beach is playing with a 3-man midfield. We have 2 in the middle. How are we going to manage that? Do we stack our attacking mid and a little more defensive mid to try to offset their numbers? Can we get back quickly in transition? Can we be good in transition ourselves, which we've been very good at the last few matches?
Corner kick on its way from Luke Brown. Brown with his hand up. Ball high. It's going to go far post off the head of Scearce. Scearce puts it off the hands of Johnson. Save made. And a call made by the official that ends the opportunity for the Bridge, but a good, dangerous chance to start this contest.
Yeah, and I made mention of it last game, Rob. I think the choice to play the 4-4-2, which we play well with 2 central midfielders, you're going to give some, you're going to gain some. They certainly gain a lot in possession. I mean, our chances have been numerous over the last stretch of games. We're good in the build-up. We're good, and we get a good rhythm playing with the 2-man midfield. It's just, on the other side of the ball, making it work. But I think you take that because we want to be a nice, aggressive, attacking team and
chance
put
for
balls in
Eneli.
the back of the net.
Eneli gives it up to Rebollar. Rebollar forward to Brown. Brown's open. Brown shoots, and he scores! Luke Brown, 1-0 early.
It's a great goal. I mean, you could see there they won the ball at midfield, sprung some numbers forward, put together a little pattern up top, ends up coming to the foot of Luke Brown, who's a tremendous finisher. Really composed, tucks it in the corner, beats the goalkeeper. 1-0 Lionsbridge.
Tic-tac-toe soccer as it goes off the toe of Luke Brown for a 1-0 game early. We are 8 minutes into the contest, and that's what you like to see if you're a fan of the boys in blue. The assist came from Rebollar. And that wouldn't be possible without the initial feed from Eneli. And I'm not sure who it was in the midfield that got it all started, but that was 4 different members of this squad that touched the ball in succession to really finish the play and put the ball in the back of the frame.
It's great soccer. It's a great play for the fans to see. A lot of young ones here tonight. See how the higher game is played, and seeing Lionsbridge do it right in front of them is great.
Talked about those keys to success just a bit ago, and I want to remind you tonight's keys to success are brought to you by Nike, the official uniform provider of Lionsbridge FC. Check out Nike styles for the soccer player in your home at Nike.com. Nike, just do it. Foul by the Bridge gives the ball back to Virginia Beach. A win tonight through 11 games would give Lionsbridge FC a total of 19 points on the year, which eclipses their 17 from their inaugural season a year ago. With 2 young teams, Kevin, I've had the misfortune of needing to say the word inaugural quite a bit today, and I have struggled every single time.
Yeah, well, it is inaugural, I will say, and they are 2 young teams, but 2 very good teams, and like I said, the level of play is going to be real good tonight, so we're off to a good start.
Been good here all year, and it's, from what I can tell and from what I've heard, everything out of the Sportsplex in Virginia Beach has been positive as well.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to see their opening game down at Virginia Beach, and they had a bunch of new players, missing some key guys. Didn't have a lot of rhythm on that night, but you can see they're much improved to date.
Certainly so. Another opportunity for the bridge forward. And taken away and settled by the midfielder Curtis Kirby. So Lionsbridge FC looking to better their inaugural year. Virginia Beach United coming to the close of their inaugural year. And this also just so happens to be the inaugural year of the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup presented by Langley Federal Credit Union. Killed it.
One of the things I'll say is that, Virginia Beach, finding their rhythm, finding their legs over the course of the season. Now, 11 games in for Lionsbridge, you see like a sequence that we just had for that goal where, 3-4 players just combine like it's nothing to do. I mean, they're just used to playing off each other. The movements are better. The connections are there. Looks like a pretty well-oiled machine 11 matches in versus early season.
Certainly, and talking to Wally at the beginning of today's on-field time, had the chance to, talk to him about how his team has grown since the season has started. Another chance here and the save made by Johnson. And something that Wally mentioned was how much this team has matured over the course of the year. They don't necessarily let little things bother them. They continue to play. They've, built some team chemistry, and that is showed on the pitch every single night.
No doubt about it. I mean, it's all about the next play. I mean, you can't change the past. Just got to be great in the very next play and just keep thinking positive and trying to keep things moving in the right direction, which they are.
Ball gets poked out of the hands of Ivan Militar. Militar and Scearce having a conversation with the man in green. Everybody's having a chat, a little bit of a conference. Official says, please, no more of that, and Scearce will walk away, as will the captain Militar. And that is settled. Ball up in the air, headed away by Scearce. After all is said and done, Dearle makes the grab.
Yeah, we talk about the players in the field, getting comfortable, really learning each other. Our goalkeeping with Dearle has been real steady. I mean, you can see how comfortable he's been, especially the last couple games. I mean, balls that come into his box are easily snatched up and taken care of, and just makes a real confident team to play in front of him.
Certainly so, and Dearle quite the humble man out there. Every time I get the chance to talk to him, he's not only is he full of joy, but he's also ready to give credit to his teammates. Here's a chance for Brown again. Brown stops, chips it over the head of Johnson, and it's on the offer side. Picked up by Militar and in. Eneli now to Jacquel. Jacquel pushes it forward and poked in. Stays in play and cleared. And the bridge maintained the chance.
Showed some great composure in some tight spots. Not only just to take a whack at it, but to take a touch and try to find a better option.
Brown tried to pinball it towards Eneli. And now on the run is Barakat. And Sackie, excuse me. That's Donut Sackie.
I tell you, Kagen's been impressive at that right back since he's come into the lineup. I mean, a guy with a lot of athleticism, a lot of pace, a lot of fight, a lot of competitive spirit about him. He doesn't get beat too often down that flank, and he loves to join the attack as soon as the ball gets into our possession.
"15 minutes into the contest. And I would be remiss to mention this beautiful evening once again. "83 degrees here in Newport News." Headed forward and picked up by Dearle. Sackie had a chance at it. Sunset time 8:28 as we drop to about 75 by the time everyone's home and in bed. Tonight's weather report thanks to the folks at Mosquito Joe. With their effective mosquito control solutions, it's time to start enjoying your yard again. Satisfaction guaranteed. Yeah, that's right. Say goodbye to mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas. With Mosquito Joe, outside is fun again. And Kevin, we really have been lucky. With the exception of one rainy and humid afternoon, for the most part, we've had beautiful evenings for soccer.
It's been great. What a pleasure to be out here. I know the players have enjoyed it.
If you're just joining us, where have you been? 20 minutes into the stream, 16 minutes into the game. 1-0 our score off the foot of Luke Brown. Got some help from his friends Rebollar and Eneli. And foul called.
Yeah, it looked to be a pretty good challenge. Both players went up pretty strong. Virginia Beach took the foul there. I don't think there's going to be any shortness or lack of physical play tonight, Rob.
I don't expect so tonight. Both of these teams understand what tonight's contest means to the standings. Ball in the Bridges corner. Now the outside. Sackie has it back. Sackie will settle. Rebollar with some fancy footwork trying to win it back, and then he drags Sackie down with the hands, and this is football, not handball, so a foul getting called every time on that.
Game is quite choppy up to this point. We've had our share of fouls now on both sides. Just hard to establish a rhythm for either team. And hopefully, for Lionsbridge's sake, they can defend these restarts and free kicks and get back possession of the ball.
Ball forward into the box. Dearle grabs. Dearle now to reinsert this one into play. Coming up to the 20th minute of the contest. Nice pace picking up to this match out in, coming down to the end of June, Kevin. And after tonight, Lionsbridge FC will have 3 remaining home games, and looks like some complaints from Sackie on the far side, but 3 remaining games in the league. And I would venture to say almost all of them might be must-win situations.
Yeah, well, it's that point in the season, with the teams that are still in contention for the top spot. You're going to see each game take on whole nother game in itself, with the pressure of getting the points, whether it's one on the road if you're pressing for at least a draw, or, really looking to get that 3 at home. And, you can take care of business as the home team. If you get 3 points, you're really moving the needle into the right direction, and you could take real advantage of the division with 3 points tonight.
Militar off to the far side to take this free kick, and a dangerous opportunity for the Bridge as they've got Jacquel, Brown, Scearce, and Eneli joining them, Betz and Staats on the 18. Playing on the near post is Brett Johnson. Everybody else standing firm on the line. Just trying to pick up on the sides. The official will go ask Militar to reset the ball, and he does. The fans begin to rumble. Official gives the go-ahead. Militar puts his arm up, puts the ball in the air off the head of Jacquel. It pinballs off of the defender. Looked like it bounced off the defender's head. I believe that might have been number 6, Luis Martinez. It's actually a forward. Then off of the head of Jacquel, then out of play.
Yeah, almost fortunate on the bounce. Almost ended up in the back of the net. Unintended.
Unfortunate if you're a fan of Virginia Beach, which this just so happens to be the only other team in our TV market. So who knows, maybe you are watching at home, and if you are, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Sad you couldn't make it out to Pomoco, but we understand the HRBT. Lionsbridge FC, among every team in this division, because of the way the division is, you have to play 2 other teams in your division 3 times to get the full 14 games. The other 2 divisions in this conference made up of 8 teams, you play everybody twice. When you have a division made up of 6 or 7 teams, you play everybody twice, and it makes 12 games. Still got to make up 2. Virginia Beach United, one of those teams, Lionsbridge FC, has to play 3 times. NCFC, the other squad that this team plays a 3rd time. And Lionsbridge FC won 2, I believe, against NCFC, lost 1. Looking to do much of the same against this squad. They still have a game against Wake FC, Tri-Cities FC, and North Carolina Fusion.
Rob, I like what Lionsbridge is doing defensively. They're dropping numbers back behind the ball. They're really organized. They're making it really difficult on Virginia Beach to break their lines and to get into some deep spots.
Ball forward to Jacquel.
And I talked about the central players being outnumbered, but they are bringing the offside midfielder in to give some cover, to give extra support in the middle, which gives them like a 3rd defender inside, and it's served them well.
Ball taken away, and that defense has been, rock solid lately against DC United, giving up 1 goal. Against NC Fusion, giving up 1 goal.
They struggled in the early matches a little bit staying connected, Rob, finding gaps in their own, defensive unit. Whereas now they really move as blocks of players, and as a coach, Coach Wally must be real happy that they're moving as blocks, they're not giving up gaps, they're really defending with numbers and defending as a group and not just as individuals.
The last time that Lionsbridge FC lost a game at home was on May 25th against Wake FC. So they'll have an opportunity on Saturday to avenge that loss down in Ting Park. Forward is Eneli. Eneli trickles near the 18, then he'll stop back. Up to Militar. Militar looks down to the zone, unable to do so. Then he'll challenge his man. The ball gets cleared to Kagen. Jonah Kagen's first time we've said his name tonight. Ball hasn't really found his way to the near side of the field. Now with it is done at Sackie.
up to this point, Virginia Beach is able to get the ball to midfield pretty regularly, building some numbers right into our half, but they can't penetrate from about 35, 40 yards out. Play tends to break down for them. They play a little bit of an impatient straight ball. And I think that's key for Lionsbridge is they're just organized. And their shape is good, and they're patient defensively. And again, they're doing it with numbers.
Another corner kick coming for Brown. Brown with the lone goal for Lionsbridge tonight. Brown just finishing up his career at Hofstra. Next year will go to the University of Maryland. This Terrapin trying to put one in the back of the net, and the corner kick is poorly placed. Put in the back of the net, just the wrong side of the pole.
You don't see that too often from him.
If we're being completely honest, you don't see that too often at this level at all.
That's true. I went easy on him.
No offense to Luke Brown. He's an excellent player. That's just a mistake you don't want to see.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but he'll be back. Ball replaced. Now the outside. Barracat. And cleared. It hasn't really been a lot of offensive chances. A lot of that's been because of the midfield today so far. Eneli into the 18. Eneli battles and wins a corner kick after a one-on-one chance against Friedrich Peter. So now Militar will take the far side corner.
I just like the air of confidence watching Lionsbridge play tonight. I mean, in possession, they just move smooth. They're not forcing the play. If it's not on, they're playing the ball back or through the midfield or switching the point of attack out the other side. And, again, I think that's a key to having played together now, 11 matches in. And
ball in the air, headed away.
Just a nice composure and rhythm about him.
Man is down. That's number 23 in red, Curtis Kirby. And so I was going back to saying the midfield so far has been controlled by Lionsbridge, and the ball really hasn't entered the attacking third for Virginia Beach much at all.
Nah, like I said, they get about 35 yards out, and Lionsbridge, I think, after the first goal is withdrawn a little bit defensively, so they give them a little bit of the field and let them kind of get to about the half, and then they tighten the screws on them.
Kagen the defender, so Militar will sit back. It's a 2-on-3 down there in the corner. Kagen loses it, and Kagen will drag down the forward Kirby.
Yeah, they look to make a little bit of a meal on that one. I mean, Kagen definitely had an arm on him a bit, but the guy's big and strong enough to not go down that easy.
Dangerous play there. Ball ends up all the way over by the feet of Dearle. Headed away. Now onward to the outside, and a good ball over to Militar. A little bit of a wider field. Militar might have been able to get there.
Without a doubt. It's a good switch of the point of attack there. Just ran out of space.
Seems to be the game plan. Tighten up one side of the field, then switch where you have numbers on the other side. Militar trying to do just that. Just a touch strong to Eneli. Eneli's able to save it for a moment or two and then loses it. Now taking up the middle of the field is Kirby. Kirby gives it up to Martinez. Martinez in an onslaught of blue. Opportunity there for Lamy. Lamy, a goal scorer for this team. Now insiders Dearle. And a goal. An equalizer. Number 5, done it. Sackie. And it's 1-1 in the 31st.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate bounce. The ball was played into 2 or 3 of our defenders with 2 or 3 of their attacking players off to the side, and the ball just kind of had a kind bounce as far as Virginia Beach is concerned, right to the foot of their attacker who deposited in the back of the net.
"31 minutes into the contest, we're sitting on a 1-1 game. And as head coach Chris Wally would want, the clean sheet is no more.
Yeah, unfortunate for Dearle, he really couldn't do much there. I mean, the ball bounced to the feet of their attacking player about maybe 8 yards out, tops. Not a real difficult finish, and he did just that.
Another chance here. Poked up by Lamy. Now back is Curtis Kirby. That ball from Kirby to absolutely nobody but Staats in blue. Now Staats will start the counterattack and ask for Brown to make a run at it. Luckily, I think the ball got cleared by Friedrich Peter. I'm not sure he necessarily had to do that. It wasn't attacking numbers for the Pride.
Yeah, thought he could have played it back to his goalkeeper, maybe kept it and built out. We weren't even pressuring him at all.
Brown now. Eneli, Rebollar. Rebollar on the out. Now coming back the other end. Got an injury here for Lionsbridge. They're just looking to clear the ball. Staats and Betz are there. There's Rebollar. Now just trying to send a ball in, and out of play it goes. The save was made by Dearle on an excellent bicycle kick, but all that's for naught as the ball was out of play on the feed.
Would have been good if it was wasn't an offsides, but nevertheless, Dearle was there to make the save.
I'm not sure who was the injured Lionsbridge man. I think he seems to be okay now. They're waiting for the official word that Dearle can reinsert. This is the only game here in the South Atlantic. Ball up to Jacquel. He's on sides, and the ball picked up by Johnson. Johnson rolls it swiftly out to number 3, Sam Pollard, who's looking for Sackie. Down goes Sackie, and Rebollar ends up with it. Ball over to Betz. Now to Jacquel, and out of play.
You know, Sackie's been a bit of a handful for the back line of Lionsbridge, just the attention he's drawing. You know, we're starting to find him a little bit earlier, be a little bit more aware of him. But he's been a constant threat up there, you know, to either get on the end of a ball, to hold on to a ball, to just make contact with our back line and just keep everybody honest.
Just about 75% of the way through the first half. There's one arbitrary statistic followed by this arbitrary statistic. After tonight's contest, the USL League 2 season will be about 71% complete. Coming to the final portion of the year, and every game means everything. Now again, with this one being the only one that means anything to these two squads tonight, it's very clear that a win means everything, and a tie doesn't do you very many good favors.
I'd agree with you 100%. And, you know, these guys know it. And they just have to get back hold of this game. You know, there was always going to be some ebbs and flows. He scored a good goal early, had numerous chances after that. And then it's been a little lull where Virginia Beach has found their rhythm. Could have answered a second goal, you know, minutes after the first goal, which is a vulnerable time defensively, but fortunately did not.
All up in the air, headed away. And captain play. The Bridge will maintain possession. Rebollar. Adrian Rebollar puts it up and headed away. Now comes the counter attack for the Red. Now all the way to the outside goes Joseph Barakat. Barakat scoops, and the defenders of the Bridge flee into the blocks.
You know, I'd like to see our attack, especially our wide players, not be satisfied with just to get it wide and hit a service in early. Maybe to drive in a bit, allow the outside backs to overlap, especially here on the right side with Kagen. I mean, he wants to overlap and get forward and to build some numbers that way. But, you know, we'll see if maybe Militar or Eneli take those opportunities to drive inside the field a bit more.
The last few moments have become a touch of a track meet. Ball sent in, saved by Dearle, kick save, and a beauty. Here comes another opportunity for VB United. Another shot on and over the net, and Dearle maintains the equal sheet.
Yeah, it was well done by Dearle. Unfortunately, he's having to do more work than he's used to doing up to this point, but he's been up to the task on the last couple saves.
Certainly the case so far tonight. 1-1 our score. I'll remind you that tonight's game is brought to you in part by Lidl. Next time you go out to buy snacks for the game at home, check out Lidl, the official grocery store of Lionsbridge FC. Lidl is committed to providing customers the highest quality products at the lowest possible prices. Their everyday assortment of products features award-winning products and unique specialty items. Lidl also stands by its quality with its Lidl Love It guarantee, so be sure to check out Lidl today.
Rob, I think we're in a critical period here with about 10 minutes left in the half, you know, including a couple minutes of stoppage time there, that we can really go on a nice run here at Lionsbridge and take hold of the last part of the half and certainly not concede going into the half. We want to go into halftime with a real positive rhythm, positive feel, and get on top of this game.
Coming to the final moments of the frame, 39th now minute of the contest. Ball rocketed up to Jacquel. And Jacquel called off. Tonight's game and all three matches of the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup are brought to you in part by Langley Federal Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Cova Cup. Looking at it across the way tonight, somebody's going home with it, and this is not a traveling cup, so it's something that team will get every single season. I'll get a new one. Last season, Kevin, in the first year of Lionsbridge FC history, there was the Commonwealth Cup. Commonwealth Cup was between Evergreen FC up in Leesburg, Virginia, and this Lionsbridge team. And with the way the schedule worked out this year, Evergreen FC did not ultimately make it into the LBFC schedule for the year.
Yeah, it's unfortunate being an in-state team. You know, maybe next year that kind of works itself out. Nice to play at least one match with them. Be nice if one of your,
you play everybody in your division twice. You got 2 extra games. Why not play other divisions? I don't see why that couldn't be the case, but when everybody's got to play an extra 2, why not keep it within house?
Yeah, must have been some scheduling constraints that didn't allow it. I'm sure that both teams probably wanted to.
Ball forward, and just a lot of back and forth. The midfield play has almost ceased entirely.
I tell you, you're seeing some adjustments by Virginia Beach that they've dropped a couple midfielders in front of the back line that are screening balls in. We're having a hard time of finding feed or finding even balls into the body of our two forwards. And we've become a little more direct, just trying to hit some balls in the air into those areas and maybe win a second. But, you know, early in the match, you're able to find feet, you know, into Brown, into Jacquel. That hasn't been the case here in the last stretch of time.
1-1 our score at the moment. Rebollar, Scearce, sees Eneli, just isn't able to put it there. Taken away by Friedrich Peter. Handball called on Luis Martinez. Martinez doesn't look like he agrees with the call.
I like what I saw from Luke Brown there. Instead of staying high up the field, he came back real deep and just to get possession and get himself involved in the game. I mean, he's got to touch the ball much more often than he has. He's such a key ingredient in this Lionsbridge attack.
Ball in the air for Jacquel. Jacquel trying to get a foot on. He does. In the back of the net, and they score! Number 22 for the Bridge. 2-1.
What a great touch, bringing that ball down out of the air. First of all, the service was very well done. Had the right weight on it. Brought it down with a little touch and then just nipped it over the goalkeeper.
Beautiful touch. Beautiful touch. 2-1 our score here against Virginia Beach United in the 42nd minute.
Yeah, we just talked about Jacquel and Brown not being as involved, at least I did over the last stretch of time. You know, right after that, we saw Brown come into midfield just to get himself involved and get a touch, and then Jacquel getting on the end of a real nice service and paying dividends for his team.
Little box out play and a foul by Ivan Militar there as number 3 Sam Pollard worked to get around.
Such a big goal. I mean, you know, with 3 to 4 minutes left in the half, 5 at the most, to get that second goal, take a little feel and command of this game. Want to go into halftime with that lead. So let's see if they can continue that momentum over the last stretch of this half.
Virginia Beach United has played all right through the first 45 minutes. However, I think Lionsbridge FC certainly has carried their momentum throughout the opening frame. Talking with the coaching staff as I do before every game, Kevin, and one of the things we've started to talk about recently quite a bit is Rob's pregame score prediction. And the last 2 games I've been spot on, if not off by a goal. And so far we're looking good tonight. We are still off by a touch. I mentioned to head coach Chris Wally, I said, you know, just off the top of my head, I'm thinking, let's say we score first, they tie it up, we go into the break 1-1, put 2 in the second half, we end up with a 3-1 game. Now, that could still very well happen, and I'm not out there on the pitch, but I think they may have mentioned before the game, hey guys, Rob has no faith that we're going to score more than a goal in the first half. So let's put 2 on the board just so it can be wrong for a bit.
Yeah, and I don't think Coach Wally cares in any way, shape, or form how it gets to 3-1. I think he'll be happy at the end of the match if your prediction comes to fruition.
I will say my predictions often favor the home team, but that's just what you do when you're wearing the Lionsbridge FC polo, right?
Your job could be in jeopardy if it doesn't.
Yeah, you're certainly right. Happy to be here. Certainly happy to be here. Luke Brown wanted that ball right away from Jacquel and threw his hands up in frustration. I don't think he realized Militar was calling for it. And what the captain says goes. Ball into Militar, back to Jacquel. They play a give and go soccer. That ball cleared by a red foot. Now Sackie. Looks like estimated 1 minute of stoppage time. And offsides the call on Jacquel. And Jacquel cheekily booted it over the keeper. It was a bit of a chip. And I don't think Johnson appreciated it at all. Neither did the official.
Hey, but nevertheless, another great touch by Jacquel, huh? Flicked it right over him.
A little bit of attitude there from Thibaut.
I think the referee was generous in not putting him in his book.
I don't know if he heard the whistle. Maybe he didn't. Luke Brown's now asking about the ball in the back of the net. And that's what Jacquel was going to get when he got called back. At this point, there's less than 60 seconds of time left on the clock. Just leave it. What's the point? It's out of play, right? Does that matter?
Yeah.
Well, it's
It
out
all
of the net
depends
now.
how you look at it. But great job by the ball boy.
Yeah. I believe that's Yorktown.
There you go.
Kids from Yorktown FC. Ball boying it up tonight.
It's good stuff.
Another chance here for United. Cleared for a corner, and the opportunity persists. So now everybody will drop into the box for a late half opportunity to equalize.
Lionsbridge was a little fortunate there at the officiating court didn't overreact because the ball might have snipped a hand on a Lionsbridge player as it came down in the box, but we'll leave that in the past and get on to the corner.
That is neither here nor there. What is here now, though, is the corner kick, ball in the air high, falling off one head, then cleared by Scearce, and the half is over. So the Bridge, no matter how stressful it may be, exit the half with a positive score line of 2-1 goals coming from the foot of Brown and the go-ahead from Jacquel. The equalizer in the 31st came from Sackie. And all that to say, it's a 2-1 contest. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching Lionsbridge FC Soccer here at Pomoco Stadium and the conclusion of the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup, sponsored by Langley Federal Credit Union. And welcome back to the third match of the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup, brought to you by Langley Federal Credit Union. I'm Rob Smith. Joining me in the booth here, Kevin Darcy. And Kevin, after a 2-1 score in the first 45, what do the Bridge need to do to, first and foremost, try to add that second goal?
Well, I think they got to come out and really make sure their shape is good, their numbers are good. They're behind the ball, but they're not just dropping in and giving up their rhythm of play and being able to keep the ball, because they've been especially dangerous in many stages of this match with the ball. I think they do have to put some concentration on keeping Virginia Beach's high forward from being a real presence. He's been a really strong target, being able to receive balls, being able to run in behind. He actually has pretty good pace for a big guy. He's given our back line a bit of trouble, but I think if we can make some adjustments and make sure that our shape is sound and we're not allowing easy service into their dangerous forward, then we're probably doing our part.
Lionsbridge FC. Back in the Blues, going right to left in the second half, going towards the north end zone. Waiting for the go-ahead from the official, and away we go. Ball booted out of play by the Bridge. Goals coming from Brown, Jacquel, and Sackie. Spin move and a beauty. And rocketing to the other side is Rebollar. Rebollar there. Now on the counter attack comes Sackie. Sackie and Betz. Sackie with a chance. Shot. Sackie shoots. And misses the goal wide left, but had a wide open net in front of him.
That's the player we have to keep an eye on and keep a real priority and not letting him to get service. Sackie was real dangerous in the first half, and boy, he almost took us apart there on a run down the left side and in behind.
Watching it again, he just missed the chance. If he was, unfortunately for him, he was stumbling just a touch. Dearle to reset. And after a contest that ended 2-1 against the Fusion on Saturday, I'm sure Lionsbridge FC is certainly hoping for a chance to breathe a bit easier tonight.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, getting that third goal to get a 2-goal lead would be monumental in their quest for the cup and the 3 points tonight.
A win tonight would catapult Lionsbridge FC back into first place in the South Atlantic. Now, with that in mind, a win tonight for Virginia Beach United would put them into second place through 10 games on their season, which conveniently is right where Lionsbridge FC is through 10 games on their season. So Virginia Beach United does control their own destiny here. They need to win out. And if they don't, they would need some help. Lionsbridge FC the same, as is Tri-Cities FC, as is NC Fusion. And NCFC might be in the same boat as well.
Well, I said it earlier. I mean, Lionsbridge's got to control what they can, and what they can control here is
Here comes a chance. Sackie. May I have another? Bartender. Sackie. 2-2 game.
No surprise to me, Rob. I'm sure to you either that Sackie is the target. They're trying to find him. They played into him. He was dangerous in the first half. Talked about right in the beginning of the second half that they have to make sure they don't give him easy service. And twice already in the first couple minutes, he's been in and probably fortunate to have 2 goals.
2-2 the score. Sackie puts the ball in the back of the net for the second time today. In the 48th minute.
Yeah, they haven't been able to handle him from the start. He's just been a trouble from the beginning. I mean, his pace, his size. I mean, he's got a little combination of everything. But, you know, that's where we got to make an adjustment. You can't have pride just defending with one guy. You got to drop a midfielder in, maybe to front him. You know, put a guy in behind him. You know, just be +1 at all times. No one else has looked to be dangerous to me tonight. So, you know, until you take care of Sackie, you're going to have trouble as the game goes on.
Crowd hoping for a go-ahead goal right off the bat. Luke Brown sends that one far post. Scearce, Staats, and over. So another opportunity here coming for Brown. Gets the feed from the opponent, Brett Johnson. He'll settle the ball right over on the angle. 50 minutes into the game, hand up by Brown. Brown into town. Scearce once again, off the head of Scearce, off the head of Eneli. And cleared by Ridley. Now comes the counterattack. It's a 3-on-2, now 4-on-2, now 4-on-3, and the numbers are even. Going the other way, Kagen on the outside makes a stop, and now we're running reverse. This game becomes a track meet of sorts. It was like that a little bit in the first half. There's Eneli, the bigger body, unable to settle.
Yeah, Eneli hasn't gotten himself too involved. You know, I don't know if that's him not getting involved or his teammates not finding him enough, but he's got to get better service, balls on the ground, things he can handle, things he doesn't know he's have to chase down and work for. We got to do a bit of the work for him and let him conserve his energy to be able to go at their back line.
Picked up by Johnson and reinserted to the outside. Peter to the midfield. Good play by Scearce and Eneli to win the ball back. That's teamwork. Now Scearce looking back for Eneli to play a give and go situation. It's 3-on-1 there. Scearce finally finds number 26 in blue, and Eneli dances and continues that dance with Scearce. Now for Brown on the outside. Brown to keep it in play, unable to do so in the corner. Kick was not won by Luke Brown, instead a goal kick awarded to Mr. Johnson. Johnson touches the ball closer to the outside of his 6. Boom goes the dynamite in the midfield. 50-51 by blue, then back to red, then back to Scearce in blue. Jacquel. Not sure what the call was, but it goes back to the United squad.
I mean, what you see, if you look at our back 4, they've pushed 4 players high for Virginia Beach, and it's a matchup. We're 1-on-1 on all their higher players, which is bad odds for the defenders, especially when you got some guys that are pretty capable of holding it and getting in behind you. So when we talk about adjustments, I think there's one that's got to be made there, and I would put it on the center backs to say, hey, you know, we may need to drop in, whether it's Scearce or whether we got to drop in Rebollar, or whether we got to pull in an outside midfielder, whether it's Militar or Eneli, to say, hey, when the ball's on the offside, you got to tuck in and give us a little cover. We need some help here, guys.
Still 37 minutes of contest left to be played. Lionsbridge has had a flair for the dramatic as of late. Coming the other way is Sackie. And it looks like Lamy was fouled. Lionsbridge has also had a flair for the promotion. So they've been able to score on a header here at home the last 3 games in a row, and if Chick-fil-A is the name on the jersey and the ball's in the back of the net off a head, the man in blue, every fan here at Pomoco goes home with a free Chick-fil-A breakfast sandwich. What better way to celebrate a win than with Chick-fil-A? Eat more chicken. Ball won by Brown and Militar. Brown will have to slow the pace, and back to Kagen. Up to Brown. Brown flips it over to Militar. And into Jacquel. Headed out of play by number 10, Aguilera.
It's a crafty play by Brown just to look and find a little pathway over the top and flick a ball over to Militar, who's sending a nice one-time service.
Up in the air. And I lost track of the ball. I think a whistle blew through that. Substitution in for Lionsbridge. James Ellis into the contest for Ivan Militar.
You know, once again, Ivan, put his impact on the game. He got forward. He served some balls. He's always real crafty and good on the ball. Puts in some good serves to his teammates. But I think that maneuver now, making an adjustment with fresh legs on the outside, may give him just what they need on another player who can track back a little more, give him more defensive help, but can also get forward when it calls for it.
Forward goes Ellis. A touch of fresh legs.
Rob, I thought Ellis was particularly dangerous in the last 2 appearances when he came in off the bench. Really gave the team a lift. Going forward and setting up things, establishing some rhythm in the team. Just a real composed player with good technique and good weight on his passes.
Ferguson, another name I haven't really said a whole lot of tonight. Ferguson and Kagen on the outside.
Yeah, that's because the ball's been played down the middle to the big target, and there he is again, huh?
Aggressive play there by Luke Staats. The visiting fans think he got away with one. Substitution on its way. As 17 in red, Matthew Ridley waits his turn. Coming off, number 19, Garza. Luis Garza now off. Still waiting on the official. I think it's number 11. That will be Zach Tom. So number 11, Zach Tom. Throw in from Ridley. Strong throw. Stronger clear. Militar had himself a pretty decent night. Ellis, new to the roster mid-season. It's one of these things that the Lionsbridge FC staff has benefited from is new men on the roster as the season has progressed. Ball forward to Jacquel, and Brown makes himself a run. Now Jacquel cuts back up. Jacquel looking for another man. It's Rebollar. Save made by Johnson.
It's a great sequence there, building numbers into the attack. Ball gets played in, and keeper comes out and does well. He read the play and got down early and got big, got wide, made the block.
Scearce, forgive me, number 7, who made the play. Almost had an opportunity to score, but Brett Johnson, was right there. So this one stays a stalemate.
Or just their pace.
Up the other way. Ellis gets battled down. Back to Johnson. It seems like momentum is starting to change hands through the first 15 minutes of the second half, Kevin.
Yeah, without a doubt. Lionsbridge has got to establish themselves here, get hold of the ball, find that rhythm again. Prioritize where they really want to go with the ball. Do we want to get Eneli involved? Maybe. I would say yes. Do we want to continue to play through the midfield even though the numbers aren't the greatest in there, in the center of the park? Certainly want to play there. We have 2 good players in Scearce and Rebollar. But, we got to look for other options that might present themselves and give us opportunities to be dangerous in attack.
Thought of play for a corner to come for United.
For me, we've also got to find Luke Brown, get him more touches on the ball, even if it's simply just coming back into midfield, getting a sniff on the ball, getting a knock, getting one touch just to be involved, to drag defenders with him, to drag players out of spaces, maybe to open up his partner Jacquel up top.
Ball sent in. It's a line drive. Dearle punches it away. United holds on to it. There goes 11 Tom. Sent towards the Irwin Belk track. He almost threw his hand at it. Thought better of it, realized that's the wrong sport. Picks up the ball with his feet and clears away. Leg 3 of the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup brought to you by Langley Federal Credit Union. Sits 2/3 of the way through the third match. Knotted in a 2-2 draw. Virginia Beach United fell the first time on May 14th. 2-0 on the road. Lionsbridge FC losers in game 2. So each side has picked up a win. Although Lionsbridge FC did manage to score in the game at home. So on aggregate, right now, if we're including tonight's contest, looking at a 5-4 score. Up in the air. Virginia Beach United has to win tonight to pick up the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup, but even more than that, cup sponsored by Langley Federal Credit Union is the 3 points that both sides are really seeking as the season comes to a close.
It hasn't been a bad performance per se for Lionsbridge up to this point, but I think leaders will need to emerge at this point, with the importance of the game, who can really dictate the flow and the tempo of the match going forward.
There goes Sackie.
And make sure that the right players are getting on the ball more often than not.
Scearce there gets fouled. Substitution to come on. Joining us will be Oscar Ramirez. The next opportunity. And right around the 60th minute, Ramirez comes on and turnaround guy gives us the wave. I will join them as the wave goes by. Off goes Rebollar. So Adrian Rebollar had himself an assist tonight. Comes off after 63 minutes of play. goes Brown. Brown sees Ellis and a beautiful ball, but stopped just for a moment by Ridley, who's had himself a game tonight. Sackie on the run again. Dearle heads it out of play. Dearle will hustle back to his spot. Sackie goes to get it. Sackie will throw it in quickly. Sackie, through 64 minutes, has not shown any sense of fatigue whatsoever.
Handful. Man, he's just what you want in a target player. Constant motion, constant battling, constant just being a nuisance to the back line, making runs, pressing, doing a little bit of everything, not to mention scoring goals. We have to solve that problem, you know, along with our own on and in possession.
Ball into Dearle. He'll pick it up off the hop. Dearle with a drop kick. Well and away. If it had been just a bit less oomph on that one, it had an opportunity for an assist.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the next few minutes because we look to be a little fatigued almost and maybe just lacking urgency to do some of the things we're capable of, like keeping it, playing it, you know, maybe recycling it back at times, not just pushing the ball forward, but having the energy and urgency to keep it and, you know, to spray the ball around the field a little bit.
In the air, cleared by Scearce. Brown up to Ellis. Ellis gets bumped. Official says, hey, we can't be having all that. Checks on Ellis to see if he's okay. No booking for the defender.
It's a great challenge. I mean, it's certainly a foul, but, you know, you play at this level or any level above and beyond this level, you got to get in strong. I mean, you can't go in half and half or you're going to end up on your back.
Absolutely, and it seemed to be more of a shoulders up challenge as Office Peters has it and shot in and save made by Johnson. Ball came off the foot of Emeka and Eneli. Watch that one more time. Let's see what Johnson does with it. And according to the official, it says it goes off the crossbar, the side, the post. Now the inside, outside, up in the air, far post. Ramsay is there. And Sackie's ready to go on a run. And Sackie saw that ball. It started, could have gone on a run for it. Looked like a miscommunication. Sackie thought he was ready for it, laughed it off. Unfortunate for him. Trying to feed his man for the hat trick. In forward, Dearle picks it up and hustles it back out. Ellis. And it seems like more bridge players are back than are attacking forward. The game plan may be the case. Foul called. And not necessarily a place you want to get fouled if you're Thibaut Jacquel out there, as that is a lot closer to the track than someone may be comfortable with.
Yeah, hopefully he's all right. He took a little knock. Might just be buying a little bit of time and getting everybody a bit of a breather.
Stoppage brought to you by Riverside Sports Medicine. Riverside Sports Medicine offers comprehensive medical services, including primary care, sports medicine, orthopedic surgery, sports physical therapy, and athletic training. And as the Peninsula's premier sports medicine provider, the entire sports medicine team is focused on helping you stay active and keeping you in the game. Riverside Sports Medicine and Riverside's Medical Group, also the sponsor of the Riverside Man of the Match, to be determined on social media after the game, so be sure to head to Lionsbridge FC on Twitter to vote for the Riverside Man of the Match. Don't miss a moment on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Get post-game interviews, pre-game lineups, and all the behind-the-scenes content you could ever want from your favorite USL League 2 team. Ball up in the air, looking for Scearce, punched away by Johnson. shout out to Eneli Dugan, who runs those social media pages quite nicely along with Patrick Garber. All your favorite Lionsbridge FC gifs. GIFs, GIFs, whatever you want to call them. Brought to you by Emily and Patrick. Now onward, here comes a chance, cleared by Kagen.
Hey, Rob, I got to tell you, Sackie's having a bit of a walk in the park. I mean, he gets the ball when he wants, he gets it where it wants. Players come up to get into his space, he just physically handles them. He runs past players. I mean, he's had quite a game here, and again, we've got to figure a way to deny him service so he can't additionally affect the game.
Ball cleared away. There's to be another substitution. The corner kick is what we're waiting for on the near side. It will be 9 for 5. So Danny Corona Rojas will join us for Sackie. So Danette Sackie, his night is over.
I think that's a sigh of relief from the Lionsbridge faithful. See that guy go off.
He certainly has had himself quite the night, and if you're a fan of Lionsbridge FC, you're happy to see him go, and if you're Virginia Beach United, you're certainly happy to have him on your squad.
Yeah, we certainly don't know the impact of the player they brought on for him, but, you know, in case or unless he had an injury or he was just absolutely fatigued, which could be possible, I'd have rode him out if I was Virginia Beach.
It's only the second sub of the day, by my knowledge, for Virginia Beach. Both sides have made 2. Still 4 more changes that can be made. Ellis, one of those subs, over to Ramsay, the other. Zach Tom. Looks like Tom and Corona Rojas, the 2 subs here, are both forwards for this squad, so fresh legs after an explosive performance from Sackie. And it's been a second half that's been controlled by the red squad. Ball headed perfectly to Eneli on the outside. Eneli will settle. Eneli sees his man, works his way into the 18. That ball gets sent in and trickles through everybody, and it becomes a throw-in for James Ellis. Ellis sees Ramsay there, but he gets defended quickly by Peters. Brown is on the outside looking to cut in, and the ball is thrown away by James Ellis.
Nice early ball played in by Eneli. You know, sometimes you throw the ball in the mixer, it beats around, and you get a favorable deflection, which that one certainly deflected, but didn't end up where we would have hoped.
Minutes to go in the contest. The assistant referee on the far side gave it to Lionsbridge. Virginia Beach United thought it was theirs, so they threw it in first. Kagen now, after all is said and done, will throw it right back to a man in red. Virginia Beach United continuing to ride this momentum. Surfing the wave, if you will. Tides have not turned since the 45-minute mark. In fact, it's all been Virginia Beach United with the exception of an Eneli shot off the left post. Up in the air off sides from number 11, Zach Tom. Lionsbridge FC is proudly sponsored, and tonight's game is Brought to you in part by Financial Security Group, founded in 1992. It's one of the oldest independent financial planning firms in Hampton Roads. Be sure to call Kevin Joyce at 757-643-6200. Opportunity for Jacquel on 4. Call Kevin Joyce to protect, save, and grow your financial plan. Again, Financial Security is a proud sponsor of Lionsbridge FC. Shot on. Wide left. Not saved, so Brett Johnson will kick this one in. We've got 15 minutes to go here. What kind of things does Chris Wally need to do to put his squad up one more?
Well, I'm not sure, his adjustments or his bringing on a player right now are the answer, other than the guys in the field have to find it inside themselves. And again, I think there's going to have to be a guy or two that just kind of wills things to happen, maybe leads others, maybe injects a burst of energy. Again, I thought we've been lacking a bit of urgency, even off the ball. We just had Jacquel, when we lost the ball, pressed on his own, and others just kind of watched him press. We got to do things together. If one press is all press, front players kind of set the tempo for the rest of the guys, but we need some leaders to emerge and to find some energy here.
The 2 subs Lionsbridge FC has put out on the field, both midfielders in Ellis and Ramsay. And they do have 2 defenders in Gunderson and Cooke, as well as 2 forwards in the other Cooke, Travis, and Rene White. So 2 forwards on the bench, 2 defenders on the bench. I'd imagine he has White or Cooke get up first. Now Cooke, the taller of the few, and of course as soon as I say that, it looks like somebody's set to come into the game, and I believe that's White. We'll see though in a moment. There goes Eneli. Eneli puts one up off the head of Jacquel over the frame.
That was better. I mean, we built like 8 to 9 players up into the final third and really put pressure on their back line, their midfield block, and got a good chance out of that one.
So sub coming for Lionsbridge FC in just a moment here for the final 15 of the frame. Wait to see who he comes on for, but from my eyes here, that tell me that is number 15, Rene White. Comes a chance. Bearcat looking for a header and ultimately into the sand pits on the Irwin Belk track. So here comes White. Maybe Jacquel or Eneli or Brown. They're all right there. And it will be Emeka Eneli. So on the field comes Rene White. The first of those subs, offensive in nature. White has scored a couple times this season. And fouled is Ferguson.
I think each of those subs made sense, given the point of the game we're in. We brought on James Ellis earlier to give some legs on the outside of the field to get up and back. Brought on a central midfield player to give us a little fresh legs there, and now has brought on, a player into the attack that can give us a little boost in the final third.
He's moved Ellis to the near side here. So Ellis will be a bit closer for our appreciation on the stadium side. Ferguson, lofty up. Rene White trying to make an impact early. And he takes down his defender, 17, Ridley.
I appreciate him trying to get on the end of that, but he had them pinned in. The ball was going to go off of Virginia Beach, and he decided to foul and to give them a free kick coming out.
Foul on Brown. Horns are active tonight. Still a little bit of natural sunlight coming from behind Pomoco Stadium, but the lights are on and beautiful. Great crowd on hand, as it has been almost every single night of the season. And now at this point, Kevin, fans are not only rooting for a go-ahead goal, but they're also just so happen to be rooting for a couple of promotions here. After the 80th minute, Crazy Bread is on the line.
We've been pretty good about
it.
Getting it. Crazy Bread the last couple games, huh?
It's a promotion to get crazy in the final minutes of the game. Here comes Luke Brown. Brown to Ellis. Ellis sees Brown. Ellis is going to turn on the Jets and try to get inside. He might cut it up, and he does. Now gives it up to 16 Ramsay. Ramsay up to Brown. Brown snakes through. Gives it up on the outside. Now back is Ellis. Ellis works his way in, and Barakat, the defender, is fouled by Ellis.
Yeah, no, that was a good chance. I mean, he took a risk there. He wasn't going to win it. It was going to be off of us anyway, so in that case, why not, right? I mean, not hurting ourselves too bad there, and if it happens to not get called, could have been in on goal.
10 minutes to go in the contest plus extra time, and if this Virginia Beach team knows about extra time more than this Lionsbridge FC squad, if anybody does, it's going to be this VBU team. Virginia Beach United ended up tying Tri-Cities last weekend. A game that went into the 90th minute tied 2-2, Kevin, ended 3-3. Tell me how that happened.
It's a weird game we're involved in here. Sometimes those results just end up going awry or going a different than what you'd think. So those late goals happen a lot.
Two goals scored in the last 5 minutes of the contest, all after the 90th. First, a go-ahead from Tri-Cities FC. They thought they were going to steal one at home. And Virginia Beach, who was winning most of the game, 2-1, ends up stealing a point of their own. Although, if you ask anyone on Virginia Beach's team, I'm sure they'd probably rather have the 3 points that I think they probably hoped for. But a point is a point is a point.
Sure, especially on the road.
Brown now forward, onsides is White. White has a chance, White shoots, wide right, it's off the post ends! Kicked away, but a corner kick coming.
Yeah, a bit unlucky there. Nice job by White to stay composed, and instead of having a whack at it, he just tried to touch it and pushed it past the left foot of the goalkeeper. Unfortunately, it caught the post and came back out.
Great defensive effort. Jacquel almost had the go-ahead goal. The fans can feel it now. They're getting loud. The ball is up. Looking for Scearce. It's sent away. And a goal kick for Johnson. Definitely the best chance of the half here for Lionsbridge FC. I think that might catapult some momentum here as Scearce is down and hurt. As they tend to Scearce, look at the VBU schedule for the remainder of the year. They will be back in action on Monday, July 3rd against Tri-Cities at home. And then they'll do a home-and-home against Wake FC on Saturday, the 6th of July at Wake at Ting Park. And they'll close their home season out on July 9th against Wake FC before heading to a season finale against NC Fusion on Saturday, July 13th. Ball is high. Into the box and out of the box. Outside is United. offsides to call. Now the Lionsbridge FC's final few. They are back in action on Saturday at Wake FC. Then they'll play at home next Wednesday, July 3rd. In their season finale, as far as the USL League 2 is concerned, there'll be fireworks post-game. And they'll go to North Carolina Fusion for their final USL League 2 game on the road before hosting the Richmond Kickers and one other squad at the end of the season in a couple of friendlies. Ball inside, and a corner kick given to the bridge. Brown will go and take it quickly. And the promptness of Brown, he can feel the need for some kind of go-ahead goal. You can hear the rumble. Fans with their phones out. Brown with his hand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue shirts in the box. Outnumbered in red. They want to be ready for a counterattack. Up in the air. Foul called.
Yeah, we haven't had near the amount of corners we've had in the last couple games, but I will say Virginia Beach has done a nice job of defending the corners we have had. I talked a little bit about last game of the team that played more just a straight zone and did not mix up their coverage. Virginia Beach is playing zone with some man marking, tying up our dangerous players, and able to handle the corners without issue.
Good give and go there from White and Scearce now to Ellis. Scearce to Ellis, bounces off the defender and into the hands of Johnson. That's Brett Johnson. Coming the other way. Good read there. Now forward in the defense. Excellent from Luke Staats. "86 minutes into the contest. Brown got us started just about 80 minutes ago with the first goal of the game. Then Sackie had one in the 31st. 42nd a go ahead from Thibaut Jacquel, and then Sackie tied things up again in the second half in the 48th, just after the break. Haven't seen any scoring since. It's 2-2. Lionsbridge FC, Virginia Beach United in a derby of sorts here for the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup. As it stands, Lionsbridge FC would go home with that cup after tonight's 2-2 draw, but both sides want to end this thing with a clean victory. I'd imagine both sides looking to push offensively as this one concludes. No one really wants a tie tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, Lionsbridge changed the whole feel of this match in the last, I'd say, 5 to 7 minutes. Picked up the urgency, got the crowd behind him a bit, and in the last couple minutes here, Virginia Beach has had a bit of a resurgence. Good game overall, back and forth. Like you said, no one wants to walk out with a draw.
Into the game for Virginia Beach, number 18, Diego Silva. Silva joins us for number 22. Excuse me, that's for Lionsbridge FC. That's 14, Travis Cooke. So Silva comes in for number 6, Martinez. Cooke comes in for number 22, Jacquel. Shot in. Brown wanted a corner to no avail. Through the midfield, across the timeline and back. So now all three forwards have been phased out for Virginia Beach United, and they are on all attack mode. As we come to the final few minutes of this game, I have a weird feeling that Travis Cooke is going to be able to use his length come the final moments.
That would be good for the Lionsbridge faithful for sure.
Lionsbridge FC. They're in the defensive zone. Kagen clears and keeps it in play. It's a bum rush for the ball. It will get cleared back to Johnson. Johnson will just put it back into play. Lionsbridge FC is calling out all defenders of the bridge to Pomoco Stadium. Next Wednesday night against Tri-Cities FC. Gates open at 5. Game starts at 7. And fireworks post-game. Come early, stay late for a night of fun at the field.
That is good organization by the Lionsbridge back line to step as a block and as a group at the right time and to get them off sides. They've had a much easier task ever since Sackie exited the game. They've been able to play more, play more organized, not have to worry about one player in particular unbalancing and breaking them down.
So 2 minutes of stoppage. So Virginia Beach United holds the ball. So a tie would put Lionsbridge FC back at the top of the table alongside NC Fusion with 17 points apiece. Fusion a game in hand. Ball back in the hands of the bridge and then quickly turned back over. Now off to the races and losing the ball, falling for a moment, and back is United. Kagen is there defending. Kagen boots the ball out of play.
End-to-end action right to the end here, Rob.
Corner kick to come. Ball is low and headed over the bar.
Bit fortunate there for the Lionsbridge defense that he didn't get on top of that ball and head it down. General rule of thumb for an attacking player is to try to head the ball down. He opted to try to head that up and in the air, and it sailed over the bar.
Here comes the Lionsbridge FC's chance. Here goes forward, a chance for White. Ball is sent away. And no chance for the Bridge to attack in their third. This one is over. 2-2 our final. So Lionsbridge FC picks up a crucial point in the standings. They go back to the top of the table, knotted up with the Fusion, 17 points apiece, and they match their 2018 point total at 17 with still a few games remaining. And they will be the winners of the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup, sponsored by Langley Federal Credit Union. Kevin, what are your final thoughts as we say goodnight?
Yeah, I don't think you saw Lionsbridge at their best tonight. We've been quite good over the last stretch of weeks, so you're not going to be perfect every night. You know, they grinded out a result here tonight. They did enough to get the draw and to get the cup out of it, right? And positioned atop the division currently, so can't be all sad about that. But, you know, we would have liked to got the result at home. But, again, you're not always going to be at your best. They were good enough tonight. They scored a couple good goals. Had a little trouble dealing with Sackie on the other side, but, you know, once he went out of the game, they looked back to be themselves again, and, you know, we'll go away and look to the next game.
So that will do it for all of us here at Lionsbridge FC. We will be live post-game as the announcement has been made as the fans pick up the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup, sponsored by Langley Federal Credit Union. And we will be In Action Postgame on Facebook. If you want to go over to Facebook Live for postgame interviews with head coach Chris Wally and striker Luke Brown. For all of us at Lionsbridge FC, we want to thank you for tuning in. Austin Urch on camera, Julian Santamoro, Mike Santamoro on in-stadium content, Austin Gregory's production crew headed up by John Rector, and our friends over at Cox Your View. He's been Kevin Darcy by my side. I've been Rob Smith, and you've been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you next time, and until then, I want to wish you the smoothest of sailing. 2-2 our final. Good night. All right, I'm here post-game with Luke Brown. Luke had a solid game tonight. Again, another assist, great balls all night long. But let's start with the trophy. You come home with the silverware, the hardware, the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup brought to you by Langley Federal Credit Union. How does it feel to be the best team in the 757 this year?
Yeah, it's great. Great to give a trophy to the fans. Like, say it every time I do this. They're unreal. The support we get's great. So to give them a cup, it's fantastic.
And tonight, 2-2 draw, not the outcome that we wanted or expected, but points are points, and we're back at the top of the table. How do you guys feel about the way you've been playing coming to the end of the year?
Yeah, like I said, shame not to get the win. It was a game we thought we could have won, maybe should have won, but to be top and teams chasing us, that's the position we want to be in. It's such a shame it's not by more.
And in the off chance this is the last time we get to talk this year, who knows, maybe next week against Tri-City I'll talk to somebody else. But what has your experience been like here in Newport News this summer as you prepare to head back to Maryland?
I mean, it's been fantastic. I've loved every minute. The support is so much fun to play in front of. So, yeah, I've loved it.
All right, well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer here with Lionsbridge and go enjoy some of that support right now. All right, I'm here, head coach Chris Wally. Chris, how do you feel about the performance you guys had tonight after, picking up the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup?
Yeah, great to win a trophy. Really pleased that, we got to pick up a point, but disappointed we didn't win a game, especially hitting the post at the end there. I thought we deserved to win, but that's football.
It is like that sometimes, unfortunately, but got one more home game in the USL League 2 and then a couple of friendlies after that. What's the preparation, though, for Wake FC on Saturday, try to avenge that loss you had at home earlier in the season?
Yeah, I think if we play the way we did when we played them at home, we'll be fine. We're scoring goals. We just keep scoring goals. We're it's so hot. Rehydrate, eat well, and get these guys ready to roll. It's a short turnaround, but we'll be fine.
And last but not least, let's talk about, just ask Luke the same question. What's it like, second year here for Lionsbridge FC, first year this year for Virginia Beach United. What was the rivalry like this year?
Yeah, the rivalry's great. I think their coaching staff have done a brilliant job. They're a good team. They're in the mix still. So it's been fun. It's fun to have another good team just across the water. Hopefully we're a little bit better. But, No, it's awesome. I hope they're around next year. I want it to become a long-term rivalry. But no, the fans have been brilliant again this year. Awesome. Please come out. What, we've got 3 more home games? Yeah, 3 more home games. Another game on the 3rd. Keep coming out, supporters, and we'll do our very best.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Coach. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. So, final score 2-2 in this one. We will go ahead and send it out. That's going to be it for us tonight. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook Live, on Cox Your View, and of course, back at home. We'll see you next Wednesday. Lionsbridge FC is back against Tri-Cities FC in a game that will be, fireworks on the field and fireworks afterward. I'm Rob Smith, signing off.